Mr. Bester, I'm telling you, is this paradise or is this paradise?
Lake Athabasca.
Some people say I use the word paradise too much. Look, there's not a cloud in the sky, flat water, Lake Athabasca, just north of Fort McMurray, right?
We're 260 miles north of
And what's the name of this camp? It's called Indian Head, right?
Indian Head Resort.
Is it? And we're catching some fish. We're catching some lake trout like that. So stick with us because I really want to get this lady back in the water.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Yamaha, Abu Garcia, Montana's Cookhouse, and Berkeley. Closed captioning for Going Fishing is brought to you by Rapala, the makers of Canada's favorite fillet knives. Today's angling adventure actually starts in the city of Fort McMurray, Alberta. It's the lure of big money employment that calls most of Fort McMurray. But for Choronzey and his good friend Dennis Bester, it's the place for a last-minute overnight stopover to rest up for the lake trout fishing experience of a lifetime. From here, they board a trustworthy caravan twin prop for the trip to Lake Athabasca and the chance to hook into some of the biggest lake trout found on the globe. Stay with us as Choronzey and Bester visit Doug and Carol Goloski's Indian Head Camp, located far up on the north shore of Canada's Lake Athabasca.
Hey, there we go. Mr. Bester, all within a half an hour. The sun's hardly over the horizon. Wow.
Another one. We've got a 22 and a 28 so far.
You know, a 22 and a 28, eh? Like try a 28 and a 26, okay, buddy?
No,
Pal?
I think...
How's your line?
Get out of here. You check with this
Isn't
guy.
this
He remembers.
something?
He remembers what they weighed.
Isn't this something? Now, I think we're only, and I could be wrong, I think we're about 8 miles from camp. Okay, we're out in the middle of Athabasca. We got a couple islands around us, and this is part of the Russian shoal. It's not bad, eh?
There's a reef out here, Carly was telling us. And,
That's what a shoal is. It's a reef.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. I was worried you've been up in those hydro poles too long. I thought it was the air was getting to you or something. Is this something? Will you come on? I want to fish.
You gonna bring your rod in?
No, I'm not bringing my rod in. I'm gonna leave it down there. You never know what's under the boat. Hey, this is pretty.
This is a good fish too.
Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, look at this one. Look at this baby.
Oh yeah.
You know, I honestly think that we've hit the mother lode.
Whoa,
And get your hand off that spool. Hey, keep your hand off the spool.
I don't have my hand on the spool.
I honestly think that we've hit the mother lode. You know that?
Look at here. 3 fish, and this one's over 22, I would say.
Dandy
A
fish.
fighter. A fighter.
Dandy fish.
The old.
You just want to make sure you don't
Quick
pop
fish.
that quick fish right out of his mouth because it's going to come right back in your face.
Okay,
Watch
Carly,
him now.
coming in, Carly.
Nice fish.
Got her?
Got it. Oh, nice
Look at
fish.
that. Look at that, baby.
Dandy fish. Put her there, buddy.
2 for Dennis?
2 for Dennis.
1 for the Crons.
1 for the Crons. Nice fish, eh? Now just let me see that. That is a nice fish. Really nice. Golly, that's a dandy, eh?
Okay. Let's get him back down.
Wow. Is that a nice fish? That one's going to go 22, 23 pounds.
20 pounds.
Nice fish.
20 plus.
Big belly on these fish. Mm-hmm. Let's put them back in, let them swim away. We'll catch them another day.
Get the rods down?
Get the rods down. Now we're watching these fish on the Eagle, and we're in 35 feet of water. We're setting the quick fish anywhere from 15 to 20 feet. We got long leads, but these quick fish really dive down, and you want to get as close to bottom as you can. But our guy keeps saying there's another big one. And honestly, we haven't been out. It's 7 o'clock right now. We set our first rod down at, say, 6:15, something like that.
6:15.
Between fighting the 3 fish, that's 45 minutes. Those quick fish have not been in the water. I would say 5 minutes total, and that's 3 fish, and they're all over 20s. Nice
I've
fish.
got them all marked on.
What do you call that little thing?
The eye finder.
Eye finder. Let's go for it. Turn your eye finder on and find me another lake trout. You got one, Dennis? You know what? I'm watching this big laker right over here roll right on the surface.
Number three. Number three.
Big one or a little one?
It's hard to tell until they
Get up
get a
near
little
the
closer.
surface.
Yeah. But it feels good. These fish are all big in here.
You like that
They're
reel, eh?
huge. Oh yeah. Great reel.
It's got a big spool for your big thumbs, eh?
Can you believe this though?
No, I can. Yes, I can because I've heard stories about this lake.
It's so easy to get to too. It's a
I
what?
got- I
4
mean, I
hour?
could be on bottom. I think
Double
I'm
header?
on, no, I think I'm on bottom, but we'll find out. No, I was on bottom.
On bottom?
Yeah.
So
Big,
easy to
small,
get-
or what?
So easy to get to though. 4 hours in Toronto, direct to Fort McMurray.
Well, yeah, and that's the surprising part because it used to have to fly to Edmonton, right? Now you can go right from Toronto to Fort McMurray.
Yeah.
Okay, spend the night in Fort McMurray, and you get up in the morning and say you get to the little airport there, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, you're here fishing at 9
Yeah,
o'clock.
it takes about an hour to get from Fort McMurray up to Lake Athabasca.
I'm just gonna pull that quick
Over
fish out of
here.
the water right there.
That's another good fish.
Aren't they big?
Another 20-pounder.
Aren't they something? Eh?
Look at here.
That may be a little bigger than 20. Get your thumb off that spool.
I don't have my thumb on this spool.
I want to show you his thumb later. It's all white from nylon being rubbed against it. You know, you let the fish get all the way back down, you hit them on the top twice.
Here
They're
she
strong
comes.
fish,
Here
but
she
they're not that
comes.
strong.
Here she comes.
Look at the size. Look at that fish. Nice fish, eh?
Oh yeah, look at here.
Aren't they something?
Mr. Quickfish.
Yeah, well, you know, that's not rope you've got on there. That's only 20-pound test line. Nice fish, eh? Somebody says to me, lake trout don't fight. Yeah, okay.
Beauty fight. They start to roll though, eh?
Yeah.
Right soon as they get to the top.
Yeah, but that's typical
Got
of
her,
lake
Kyle?
trout. You ever notice that whether it's a 2-pound lake trout or it's a 30-pound lake trout, when they get to the boat, they want to spin.
Look at that.
Nice fish. Now look at the size of that quick fish. That's at least, I would say, 7 inches long.
Yeah.
And you don't troll fast with this. It's just almost a dead troll. You just want that thing to wobble. You can get these lures that are 1.5 inches long. We use them for steelhead at night when we're fishing the rivers. This is probably the #1 plug made, I'm saying plug, made for lake trout.
A lot of the guides use them up here.
It's
lot of the
a
guys
quick
use
fish. We walked into the lodge and that's all they had. Although this is a new one, it's got the light inside it. Get it back in the water. Let's go fishing.
And now, the campfire comment.
You know, guys, I'm sitting here staring. I'm watching the cedar throwing off some sparks, right? And you think about it. We started this morning. We caught a lot of fish. We ate a few fish. 10 o'clock, we're watching the campfire. We got stars in the sky. Just about perfect, eh?
Just about perfect, but what's really bugging you, Cons?
What's really bugging me? You know, after 58 years on this earth, right? And I looked at the fishery and I'm going, what major problem are we faced with right now, right? And if you really want to know, it's not COs. That's not the major problem. They're a pain in the butt, but it's not the COs. It's not the ministers of natural resources. It's not the fish farms. It's not the commercial fishery. It all stems on one problem. Honestly, I'm not being smart. We're getting too many people on this earth of ours. You know, Josh was born 23 years ago, and the day he was born, I looked out the hospital window in Burlington, where I grew up. And there used to be a stream right outside the hospital. And the day that Josh was born, they were paving that stream over. And you know why they were paving the stream over? Because they had to utilize the land. Now you think about this. We've got pollution in our waters. Why have we got pollution in our waters? Because there's too many people. Why have we got less fish in the ocean? Because we're feeding too many people. You know, why do we not see the blue skies like we used to? Because we got too many people and pollution. And I think we all have to better, pretty soon, smarten up. You know, I don't want to say tie a knot in it, but no, I'm serious. You know, we have to cap it someday. We've got too many people. I like Canada in the old days when we were sitting at 10 million people. We're sitting at what now, 30 million people? Okay, so we let in another 200,000 immigrants. And again, I'm a honky, right? My grandparents came from the old country. But you just can't keep letting people into Canada because the rest of the world's getting too crowded. And I'm not being smart. We have to one day say, whoa, wait a minute. Only so many fish can go in this aquarium, right? You put too many fish in the aquarium, the water gets a little dirty. And that's what's happening in this earth of ours.
I totally agree.
You know?
Going Fishing returns with more lake trout on Lake Athabasca.
of my way.
Number 5?
Number 5. Pretty quick, eh? Pretty
Number
quick.
5. Let me get this rod out of your way.
Number 5, Dennis, in less than an hour. That is something. Nice fish.
Just hang on.
But they're on a feed out here, Dennis.
They are on the feed.
A lot
They
of
are
weight.
not shoal.
Hey, a lot of weight on that quick fish, eh?
Yeah. Well,
Actually-
they're about 7 inches long, so
You actually think
it
you've got
feels
a
like
fish.
you're fighting a fish when you bring them in.
Golly. I shouldn't say this, but
Bit
I
of
said
weight
that-
to it?
Yeah, and I shouldn't say this. I said to Dennis, change lures. Since they're both my lures, he had the hot lure. I picked up the first fish on that chartreuse. This has got the red on it, eh?
Funny thing, I got a chartreuse on mine.
Yeah, I know. All of a sudden, nice
You seem to
play.
like that hot pink, eh?
Yeah.
So do you, though.
Get away from me. Keep your elbows away from me and everything else. Oh, is that a big
That's another
mother?
25
eh?
pound. You want the net, Kyle?
That's not 25. This is going to go 30. Maybe 35. Maybe 40.
Aren't you glad I gave you that lure?
I'm glad you gave me that lure. Thank you very much. Aren't you glad I brought that lure with me? Well, I said to my buddy Roger Cannon, can I get some quick fish? He said, quick fish? You're a spoon fisherman. I says, not anymore. I'm a plug fisherman. You know, you can catch lake trout on spoons, right? But honestly, these guys up here figure that they're catching bigger fish on plugs. Look at the size of this guy.
And really, why wouldn't you come up here to catch big fish, you know? That's
Yeah.
what it's all about.
You know, you get a plug like this that's 8 or 9 inches long. Look at this guy's sound. And I'll keep him away from that ball. Don't worry about that. But you know, you get a big plug like this quick fish that's 8 or 9 inches long. It's got a lot more action than a spoon.
See what I say? The plugs are 7 inches long. Now even the plugs are getting 8 to 9 inches. That's what he says about his fish too.
Hey, when I got a fish this big on, the plugs are 18 inches long. Look at the size of these fish.
Look at here.
Oh, is that a dandy or is that a dandy?
Right on.
Hey?
Look at that. That's unreal. 5
Now-
fish over 20 pounds.
And look at, he spit out the quick fish.
Yeah, that's good. That's a
The only,
good release.
hey, the only problem with these plugs are you got those 2 big trebles,
Yeah.
and you don't want to get those in your hands, you know?
26. I was close.
I was closer. Is that a dandy?
Look at that.
Get over here with that thing. You got him?
Yep.
Are these nice fish or are these nice fish?
Back up about 4 feet, Darryl.
You got to push. You have to push the button, Bester. One more. One more. Come on. You know, because I caught this fish, he'll have his thumb all over the lens. But again, let's have a quick look. We're not hurting this fish because we're supporting him. But these are typical Indian head fish. Is that right?
That's right.
Or are you lying?
Nope.
These are big fish up here, the north shore of Lake Athabasca. Actually, we're almost out in the middle right now. Let's get him back in the water. Nice fish. You want to get slimed?
No, but I will shake your hand. Nicely done. Now can I have my lure back?
You can have your lure back.
Thank you.
And once again, Dennis, honestly, we're not using spoons, we're using big plugs. Those
Big
big
plugs.
quick fish in there. Just go through the water real slow. There's something about them, okay? Even when you're winding them in without a fish on, there's a lot of weight there. But these big lake trout in northern Canada seem to just eat them up.
Well, we pull into the camp, and every guide's boat has big plugs.
Big quick
So
fish,
I
yeah.
guess that's what you got to use.
Yeah. Well, you can use other plugs, and you can use the ones that look like fish, but you got that, nothing looks like a quick fish. I mean, right? And those big lakers just come put the latch on them.
If the guides are using them, we use them.
Give me that plug again, will you?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Put her in gear, let's get another. Probably the best lake trout fishing you can find anywhere in the world.
Great. Just perfect.
And now for the Montana's Cookhouse tip of the week. Looking for big trout? Then think big. Lunker lake trout love oversized quick fish as well as canoe and half-wave spoons.
Mr. Bester.
Another one for the Crons.
I'll tell you, Dennis, we've got to get to shore lunch. I need some energy.
You keep saying one more, but
but
we
it's
can't
just
get that
fast.
small one, eh? For sure lunch.
That's what we're trying to catch. I'll tell you what. We haven't changed lures, right? We've run the same 2 lures for the last, it's still not 2 hours, I don't think, but
It's around 2 hours. That's
it right
number
now?
9. Number 9.
in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
And nothing under 15 pounds.
No, really something.
They're averaging between 22 and what, 30, Kyle?
Oh, nice fish.
But you're starting to hog the hunt again. I mean,
That's fine.
I don't really like that.
And I'm not changing
You know I don't
lures
like
now.
that.
And I'm not changing lures now.
You know I don't like that, right?
Wow. Is that nice or what?
He wants that quick fish.
He wanted, he got it. Thanks, Mr. Fish. I just needed that this morning. Is that something or is
Look at
that something? Are these
Look at
nice?
that. Just not a mark on them, no lamprey marks or nothing on
No,
them.
you won't see. And you know what? That's the nice thing. You don't see any exotics up here like lamprey or like smelt. You know, this is fishing at its best, and it's
This is
so
what,
natural and native, it isn't funny.
nature's all about, right here.
Yep. And people experience this. And again, what did we spend? It was a 4-hour flight from Toronto,
4
Right.
hours from Toronto.
and we spent the night in Fort McMurray,
Yep.
had a good meal, got on the plane, and we're fishing right away.
It's about an hour's flight from Fort McMurray.
Yep.
It's a great trip all the way around. Not too sure about the guide, but
The guide's a great guide. Don't say that. Mr. Guide, you can toss him, but before you do that, let me hold that fish, will you, please? Show Dennis how it's done. Oh. Now, is that nice?
Look at that.
That is what Saskatchewan, Alberta's fishing's all about. And I'm saying Saskatchewan and Alberta for the simple reason this lake's pretty well divided down the middle on it. I'll let him go.
and we're not far from Northwest Territories either, right? No.
Boy, this is paradise. Hey, don't play with my belt back there, buddy. I'm gonna hold this fish down. Nice looking fish.
Come on, I wouldn't mind catching one more.
Well, we keep saying we're gonna quit. You know, and we don't.
The problem is, it's only 10 after 8, and we're going to have shore lunch.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for shore lunch yet. We should try and get one more.
I just want to revive this fish. There she is. Buddy! Not you. You're out now. I don't need your lure. I got the first fish on a quick fish on a big one with a chartreuse. You know, you were using the other lit quick fish. It had the red with the little
hot
bit-
pink, yeah.
Hot pink. And I got the first fish, then Dennis gets 3. Then I did a little bit of a sulk, and he said, what's the matter? What are you pouting for? I said, can I borrow your plug? Then I got 2 on his plug, and then I went back to my plug. Now I've got 3 in a row. You're not using my plug.
Okay, that's fine.
One more fish, and we're going to shore lunch. Okay. The poor camera guy's going, will you guys quit? Let's get off the water. Paradise.
It's simply amazing at times to discover that even as far up as Canada's 60th parallel, there are 4- and 5-star accommodations awaiting the visiting sportsman. The days of tending out under the stars are almost unheard of. Instead, operators such as Doug and Carol Goloski are constructing lodges that will often mind-boggle the imagination. Indian Head Camp, like others, offer not only modern accommodations, great meals, and great camaraderie, but remember, also the finest fishing in the land. And by the way, while you're visiting the North, fish safe and smart, especially when it comes to campfires, matches, and discarded cigarettes. While Choronzey and Bester were visiting Indian Head, almost the entire shoreline of Lake Athabasca was on fire, as this amateur video taken by one of the camp guides shows. When it comes to human carelessness, there's no reason for forest fires. As we said, think smart. It's your country to enjoy, not destroy.
Mr. Bester, I can't wait. While the guys are doing up the shore lunch, let's talk a little tackle, okay?
Okay.
What'd you think of the day to start with?
It was just unbelievable. We got 12 lake trout, I believe.
Okay.
And 11 were over 20 pounds.
And all within 2 hours.
All within 2 hours.
I said to Dennis when we came, and I used this before, I don't like tow trucks and I don't like telephone poles. You know, meaning you don't want reels this big and you don't want rods that big around. Medium action is all you need up here. We're running, I think we've got 20-pound test on here right now.
20
okay.
pound.
And I've got my 6500, right? It's the same reel and the same rigger stick that we use for salmon on the Great Lakes and we use for lake trout on the Great Lakes. Now, the lake trout on the Great Lakes, for the most part, aren't as big as they are up here, right? No. But this combination did everything for us, and you know, we couldn't ask for more.
Great drag system on it. No, it works Great combination.
You know, I want to say a couple things. I said to Dennis when we went out, let's not use spoons for lake trout, okay? Let's go to baits. And what we've done is, I said I wasn't going to take this off, but I am going to. The big quick fish, eh? And this one's different. As soon as it gets wet, there's a light inside it.
The water activates the light, yeah.
And I don't know whether you saw the rod, but the rod is just pounding. This thing has got a lot of force going through the water, agitates it up really good, and it's just phenomenal. And again, don't forget this new type of snap swivel. All you have to do is when you want to change baits, just pull it out, and it works.
Quick release, works great.
Now, you asked me what I had these for, and I says the big power grubs, right?
Yeah.
And this is actually a saltwater power grub. But what we do is we can fish this for northern pike up here. We can fish this for lake trout.
Lake trout.
And I said, do you want to add a little something to the quick fish? We snipped a piece of the tail off or a piece of the head off, right? Stuck it on one of the barbs on the treble.
Works great, just gives it a little bit of scent. It's got a nice scent to it, so.
Works phenomenal. And again, you don't want to forget a fillet knife when you're going north, you know?
By the way, how many shows have shore lunch? TV shows?
Well, we were, I think, the original. I mean, Red Fisher might have done it in the old days, and we were the original. There's a pretender out there right now doing some shore lunch, but I hope he just sticks with poached fish. So anyways, enough of the jokes. Watch you don't trip over my rod here, and let's go up to the campfire. What do
Okay,
you think?
sounds good.
Going Fishing returns with the Napoleon Barbecue's Shore Lunch.
Mr. Bester. I hate using the word paradise, but this really is paradise, right?
It is.
The best lake trout fishing in the world, right? Now, we forgot one thing when we were talking shore lunch. That sauce that he's putting on there, right? Sun-dried tomato, right?
It's great.
We got the tomato, we got the cheese, we've got the lake trout, and we've got the potatoes.
A little bit of beans.
I'm just gonna try this, see what happens. Grady.
That's something.
Listen, if you get the opportunity, don't ever pass up the chance to visit Indian Head Camp, northern Saskatchewan. It's a short airplane trip from Toronto or Vancouver, and it really is the best lake trout fishing in the world. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna go back up for some more amazing lake trout fishing.
Maybe we'll try a pike show.
We'll try pike too. Let's go for it.
For more information on today's fishing location and other going fishing destinations, visit www.goingfishingtv.com. Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey has been brought to you in part by Yamaha, Abu Garcia, Montana's Cookhouse, and Berkeley.
Going fishing.
Going Fishing would like to thank the following fine sponsors.
Baby smiling my